All right, we are live right now, and good evening, Miss Hybrid, single and looking for vetting tools. That's what I decided to call this. Um, we've had extensive conversation uh, before this moment. Various inbox took a long time to get here because I pay attention to those that I feel um, can find the right way to employ what I communicate over social media. And here we are proving the point. So, hey, I'm here to answer any question, scenario. Tell me what you're looking for.
So I'm looking for a man with strong leadership qualities, loyal, like you said, discipline, makes decisions that benefit not only himself, but if he has a family or a wife. I guess prior to wife would be your woman or girlfriend or whatever you want to call it. Decisions for everybody. Um, just positive and happy. Of course, not perfect, but yeah, that's pretty. Those are pretty much a lot of willpower, and then so basically respectful of everybody, not just like some people. It's easy to respect your brothers and sisters, mom or whoever, family, but I'm looking for somebody who respects like all people, and treats them as such.
Okay, that man does exist. What do you think a man like that is looking for in a woman?
Peace and maybe a partnership depends on how he views uh survival or finances, but yeah, mostly like peace, nurturing, positivity, the same thing basically, gratitude. Yeah,
Yeah. Are you looking to have kids?
that part, for the right one, yes.
For the right one. So you're open to it. That's
with
just
with the right one, yes. But
okay. How many kids would you like to have?
if I'll say
In,
one.
just one.
If I would say one, yes.
And
Yes.
are you open to more if he wants more than one?
I don't think so.
Really? Okay. So you understand that that's a restrictive, thing, right?
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
I want to simulate um as we go because I don't like just bottlenecking all of the information. So picture like we're on Zillow right now and you're looking for a house.
Hmm.
And in the house is the man or the relationship, whatever piece you want to put there, right? And your biological budget is one child. So you can only shop with men that only want one kid. Understand that, So understand that you're going into a relationship to for to help fulfill another man's, dreams and obligations also because he has expectations as well. So that's why I say, are you negotiable? Because I get it if you want one and you're open to it, and it's cool, but you got to leave room to have your expectations changed as well. Because if he comes in and takes you out of everything that you don't want to do, and all you got to do is fulfill your duty, as his wife and everything that comes along with that, and he's demonstrated that, and he says, "I want more kids." What are you going to do?
I actually think I think it's negotiable, but I'm just when I speak, I'm speaking about my preference today.
Yeah, okay, that's
But
fine.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
As long as it's negotiable, you can't say what you like. You got to understand, you have a perfect model of what you want, and most things aren't what you think they are when you get there, right? How many times have you gotten a job that you thought was going to be the best job ever, and then you go, you know, do the regular routine that's associated with the job, and all of a sudden it loses all of its mystique because
Yeah.
there's things that just ain't right. So we got to get out of Disneyland when we start thinking like this because we restrict ourselves to the vision of the person that we want that's only in our head.
So
So
this
go ahead.
question. So with that being said, you know how you say so if past a certain age group they could already have kids. So I factor that in too. Does that so? Does that still narrow it down if you already got 4 kids and I have one? Like, does
Well,
that?
it depends on the man. It depends on what
Okay,
it
okay.
depends on the man. Because like, let's think about it, right? Oh man, I lost her. Oh no. Hopefully she'll be back. This is going to be a real good conversation because she's eager for information, and you can only have what you can afford, and it ain't got nothing to do with money. You got a biological budget too. You got a mental budget, an emotional budget, and we got to put all three of these pieces in the right context, because a lot of the times we think we can afford something and it's based on material leverage, and no, it's about the intangible leverage, the metaphysical leverage that a lot of people, they call it peace, they call it um, whatever other um, intangible descriptor they want to use. And in this case, we have to start off with, what do you have room for biologically, mentally, and emotionally? And these things are, here we go. Do we have you back?
Yeah, sorry about that.
Okay, it's all good. So you got to understand that men shop with the same budget that you have, emotionally, biologically, and mentally. Because mentally is just simply how you think.
Mm-hmm.
The emotional budget is about what triggers your expressions. And then financially, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, certain things you can't shop for, right? So,
right.
But we're still on Zillow. Remember, we're shopping for a house right now. So you're negotiable, because that's important, because you go out looking for a house and you see something you really like, and you say, man, they want this much on a down payment, or this much in earnest money. It's on this side of town. This side got the better schools. You go through all of these specific criteria, you know what I'm saying, to set yourself up for success. Same thing. This is the same level of detail, right? Mm-hmm. So you got room, and this is why you got to choose the right man, because, like, okay, let's say the man already got kids, and how old are you?
32.
What's your ideal age that you would like your significant other to be?
Now I'm starting to realize, probably based on like my mindset, probably a little bit older than me, but I never really put like a hard stop on like the age.
Okay.
But I'm open-minded to like recommendations on that as well.
Okay. Yeah, I would say, if, let's just say, taking the job analogy that we was using again,
mm-hmm.
the job that you went to that turned out not to be, like what you thought it was going to be. Mm-hmm. What would you say the age of that particular supervisor or manager, or in the leadership? Were they older than you or younger than you? Same gender, same age as you, or what?
Most of the time older.
Okay, cool. Well, and then now, what was the gender of that manager?
A job that wasn't the same.
Yep. I'm gonna make this connect, I promise you.
I know. I'm just trying to think of like a couple of them. Mostly women.
Okay. All right. That's important right there. You know what I'm saying? Because I want to capture. I want you to see what it looks like when people that can't contain their expressions, in the way that they communicate. Because you don't want to be that woman to that man, because we all operate based the same way. You don't want a man that behaves the way that those particular supervisors, right?
Yes.
And those men actually do exist that are out there like that, controlling, narcissistic, dangerous, whatever you want to go about. You want to make sure that you got somebody that you're equally yoked with, meaning that they don't mean you do the same thing. It means you're complementary and not competitive.
Mm-hmm.
because it's incumbent upon you to come in looking to enhance what he already has going on, because he's already prepared a space for you.
Mm-hmm.
All you got to do is come make this space better, because he gonna buy the house. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna afford the relationship.
Mm-hmm.
So he is authority. You are management.
Mm-hmm.
So if you come in acting like the previous managers that, you know what I'm saying, that reflect unfavorable behavior, you're going to fail in your relationship too. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
The same way you left that job, he will leave you too. You know what I'm saying? But if you know what that looks like and you can steady yourself before, you know what I'm saying, like instead of listening to respond, reading to react, that's the difference between translation and interpretation. So you have to be prepared to be an interpreter of your space, you know what I'm saying, that you're going to share with this man. So that's why I said, are you negotiable? Because that's very, you know what I'm saying, very key, because a lot of women, they go into a relationship and they say, no, I got what I wanted out of it. And then that's the end of the relationship.
Right.
I promise you that from that moment, that dude's going to be like, all right, then. And then there's an exit strategy.
Would you still be so let me ask you something. Would you still be considered negotiable? I guess from the male's, the man's point of view, would you still be considered negotiable? Like I said, an example I gave you. If I say, if you already got 4 or 5 or 3, and I say, okay, let's add one more because those kids are gonna be my kids too. So I really have 4 if I have one.
Mm-hmm.
Would that still be considered negotiable, or it just depends, or that still depends on the man? Like, would that be like if I'm saying, okay, let me do 2 since you only got 1, or if you got 0, 2, would it still be negotiable if I went from 0 to 1 or 1?
I would say, yeah. I mean, there's a couple things that's at play. We looking at it from a utopian idea. Biologically, right? If you can do 2, what's the problem?
Mm-hmm.
Biologically, if you can't do 2 because maybe it's a high risk, you know what I'm saying, health situation or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
it may not be on the table anymore, and he may be negotiable with that. The other thing is too, you have to think about, like, if you're going to have kids with somebody that's already got kids, how old are his kids already, especially because he's older than you.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say you generally want to be with somebody who's got kids that are getting ready to leave high school. Because if the man's older than you, let's just say, like, I'm 45, me and I got the 4 kids that you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
But one of my kids is 2. And then the next gap in the you know what I'm saying? Like, I got a 22-year-old, an 18-year-old, and one's at college and one is off in the military somewhere. So I got 2 more, and I got a 2-year-old, and I have a teen. The teen is a girl, and then the youngest child is a boy. That means the mother is going to have a significant attachment and still be involved. Does that deal make sense for you, a woman with no kids,